This is before the Balfour. Excuse me. This is before the Balfour. In 1903, Herzl turned to Great Britain and met with Joseph Chamberlain, the British colonial secretary, and other high-ranking officials who agreed in principle to a Jewish settlement in East Africa. That's right. They were trying to settle before Balfour, before they said, oh yeah, let's go back here. They was trying to settle in East Africa. That's where they were trying to set up a state for the state of Israel. In East Africa, in Uganda. It says, at the Sixth Zionist Congress at Basel on August 26, 1903, Herzl proposed the British Uganda program as a temporary refuge for Jews in Russia in immediate danger. By a vote of 298 to 178, it was decided to send an expedition investigatory commission to examine the territory proposed. 3 days later, British government released an official document allocating a Jewish territory in East Africa on a condition which will enable members to observe national customs. So, as Dr. Ben pointed out in his book, We the Black Jews, in which you see being verified by the Jewish Virtual Library, before deciding on a Balfour Agreement and saying, yeah, we gonna try to go to the land of promise, they was going to Uganda. Uganda was going to be the state of Israel. So the state of Israel was going to be in Uganda. The only thing with that was a problem with that because it just wasn't selling right with the people. So through Rav Avraham Cook, they said we can push this going back to the homeland idea more than going here to Uganda. They couldn't do the Uganda thing. Now, he says, oh, they hate us and they blowing us up because they know we the real thing, right? Let's see what the Talmud has to say about this. Let's see what the Talmud has to say about this. Now, if you go to the Talmud, Ketubot 111a, it talks about this, right? 111a, and we go to verse 3 and Tractate Ketubot 111a, is a disagreement happening, right? So you got Rabbi Yehuda who says, hey, you can't go back to the land at all until the Mashiach come, right? Then you got Rabbi Zera saying, no, you can't go back in mass. In other words, you can't get an army together and say, hey, we're going to amass this great army and we're going to go ahead and take our homeland back. You can't do that. You have an oath sworn against you that you would not do that. And if you broke that oath, then it will be destruction on you and war and strife, which we see happening. So again, I understand he says he's a Karaite or Karaite, so he don't read the Talmud, so he might don't know none of this. So can I fault him for that? But I had to point this out because he's making statements about why certain things is happening and it's off. Look at what it says. It says, Rabbi Zera maintains that the oath mentioned in that verse means that the Jews or the Yehudim should not ascend to Eretz Yisrael as a wall. In other words, in masses, with army, armed masses, warriors saying we conquering, we're going to force these people out and we're going to establish ourselves. Well, what's happening over there right now? Are they in violation of this oath? See, what they don't tell you is the Zionist movement was secular. They did not care about the Talmud. They did not care about the Torah. They did not care about the mitzvot. They just wanted a state for Israel. They said they wanted a place where, that's why they was willing to settle to be in Uganda. But the people disagreed and said, no, we don't want to go to Uganda. So then Palestine got put on the table. What if we bring you to Palestine? We can market this. It's the return of the Jews back to their land. We can market this. Everybody says the fulfillment of prophecy. Where the prophecy, as we see in this Talmud section, is that the Mashiach is going to bring you back to the land. Not you yourself bring yourself back to the land. The Mashiach is going to bring you back to the land. Look what it says. It says that the Yehudim should not ascend to Eretz Yisrael as a wall. In other words, in masses, whereas individuals may immigrate as they wish. So individuals can come here and there. That's what Rabbi Zera is saying. But people in general, and the whole nation cannot, or big group of the nation cannot say, hey, we coming in, we going to take over, we going to establish. You're not supposed to do that. The Gemara asks, and what does Rabbi Yehuda reply? So Rabbi Yehuda is who he's arguing, debating with. The Gemara answers that this command is derived from another verse, which I adjure you is written. Now, you can look at this more for yourself, but I'm just going to read this part where it talks about what's going to happen. It says the Gemara asks, and how does Rabbi Zera explain the repetition of this oath in these verses? The Gemara explains that it is necessary for that which was taught by Rabbi Yosef ben Rabbi Kanaya, who said, why are these three oaths? So it's three oaths. In the Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 7, chapter 3, verse 4, and chapter 2, verse 7, chapter 3, verse 5, and chapter 8, verse 4. It was three oaths talking about this, right? So he's saying why? Why was three oaths needed? It says one, so that the Yehudim should not ascend to Yisrael as a wall. So in other words, so that they do not ascend as a wall saying, hey, we coming here to take over. We got the armies. We want to force you out. This our land. We returning home. He's saying you can't do that. Now, if you go little by little, a few people here, a few people there, okay, maybe. But you can't go up as a wall. Can't do that. And then, what's the other oath? And another one, that the Holy One, blessed be he, adjured the Yehudim that they should not rebel against the ruler of the nations of the world. In other words, you gotta be subjected to the powers that be, right? But the last one, the Holy One, blessed he, adjured the nations that they should not subjugate the Yehudim accessory. In other words, they can't forcefully crush you as they've done to us in this land. That's breaking that oath, right? So those are the three oaths. So look at what it says right here. I'm going to go down to verse 7 because I know I'm running out of time. But like I said, I could get into this more extensively one day. really just break it down, but I'm just going to touch on some stuff because he made that thing that, oh, they bombing them and doing stuff to them because they know that they the real people when they left and came back and they the real ones. That's not why that's happening. That's happening because they understand and know this, and they are in violation of this oath, or these 3 oaths. Look at what he says happens. It says the Gemara discusses the phrase in the verse above, I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles and by the hinds of the field. It says Rabbi Eliezer said, the Holy One, blessed is he, said to the Israelite people, if you fulfill the oath, it is good. In other words, if you make sure you don't go back up here as an army and try to take over this land, it's good with you. Everything gonna be good. But if not, if you do get an army together and you do amass a group of people together and you do seek to come and take over this land without letting the Mashiach bring you to the land. That's who's supposed to bring us to the land, the Mashiach. Says, I will abandon your flesh, and all will devour you like the gazelles and like the hinds in the field. In other words, it's going to be war. It's going to be strife. It's going to be bloodshed. And it's all going to be because you violated what I asked you, what I gave you an oath not to do. Now, you might say, come on, brother. That's just you saying that. That's one of this Hebrew Israelite rhetoric. I can assure you that this is not no Hebrew Israelite rhetoric. This is right here in the Talmud. You might say, oh, come on, brother. Don't know Ashkenazi and nobody believe it. Well, actually, I'm going to let you hear from the mouth of these Orthodox Jews themselves, these Orthodox Jewish people. I'm going to let you hear from their mouth themselves.
We hurt, we cry with the suffering of the Palestinian people. We will never accept this occupation. We will never accept this criminal entity called the Zionist State of Israel.
Now, listen what he said. He's saying exactly what I'm saying. And he's taking it from this same standpoint of what I'm saying. He's coming from the same point of what I'm saying when I'm talking about what it says in this Talmudic tractate, Ketubot 111a, saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. Watch what he says. I want you to hear him clearly. Watch what he says. Let me rewind it a little bit.
Jewish law does not permit us to steal, to kill, to occupy, to oppress. We oppose the existence of the state of Israel.
Here, because there is an imposter, somebody who's saying he represents the Jewish religion, and we are here to say that he's an imposter. Israel no more! 5, 6, 7, 8, end the killing, end the hate.
So when he sat back and say, oh, they hate us and bombing us because they know we the real ones and this, that, and the other, it don't have nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. It's a violation of the 3 oaths. It's going in and occupying land. That's why the stuff happening. Not because they say, oh, you left and you came back and you the real ones. And then he says that about coming back as if, oh, y'all didn't come back, so y'all not the real ones. What are you talking about? We know and understand, as it said in the Talmudic tractate, or as the sages would expound from this Talmudic tractate, that we have to wait for the Mashiach to bring us back. That's when we come back. We don't come back because we decide on our own. We gonna raise up arms and go and we told not to do that. The Torah says the Mashiach. That's what we're waiting on. That's what we're waiting on. So when he says, oh, it's because of this, that, and the other, debunked. He's debunked. He's debunked one more time. So it's now been on this for about an hour and something now. At least an hour and a half or over an hour and a half now. As I said, next week I don't believe I'm going to do anything with no more with him, because after this, all he's going to do is say a lot of racial stuff. He's even going to get to the point where he's going to. I wanted to play some other clips. I had a bunch of stuff together I want to say, because he's going to try to point us out saying, yeah, I'ma say it, and talk about what we went through as if it was nothing. As if this slavery and the oppression we went through here was nothing. That's what this guy's going to say. So before I get myself even worked up and even more with that, I'm just going to say, as y'all see clearly, he's been debunked. Yeah, he's clearly been debunked. And if there's any other thing that you want me to bring out about him, or if you do look at the end of his video, you might say, no, you gotta say something about that. If y'all leave something like that in the comments or something, then I'll reply and say something about him doing that. But for right now, I'm just gonna let that go and just go on and end it out. Again, I thank and appreciate all of you for tuning in. Please continue to like and share and follow and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see you all next week. Next week is quote unquote Valentine's Day. So unless I was trying to see if I was going to do a live thing with his one brother. I'm not sure if we're going to do that next week or not. So might shoot for that week after next something. But next week, I did plan on wanting to talk about, since it was Valentine's Day, want to talk about our love to the Torah, or for the Torah, and also for some of us, our love for Judaism in general. So I'm going to deal with some brothers and sisters who converted to Judaism, and their love, this like a love-hate situation where they have this love, but then it's challenged by the hate that they face. And it's kind of crazy because they make excuses for this hate that they face. And what I mean is hate, just like what we seen with the guy talking, it's sort of like a racialness, right? A racial thing, and it's kind of played off as if no, everything's good though. And it was an interview I seen with brother Nassim Black and with this couple that I follow on YouTube. I really enjoy watching them. And they had this interview with Nassim, and it was a real issue that was brought up, and I feel like I'm just going to home in on that, not the whole interview, but just home in on that part. And that's probably what I'm going to do from now on, because I don't want to take up all of y'all time with these long lives. Hopefully it's entertaining enough to make you want to tune in, and there's good information being given. But again, I thank and appreciate each and every one of you, and I will talk to you all next week as we have another My Talk with Rosh Ya'acob. I'm Rosh Ya'acob. Sign out to all of you and say, Shalom.